Hello, welcome to Psychology 290, Introduction to Research Methods in Psychology. My name is Dr. Sarah Kine. I will be your instructor for this course, and I welcome you all. I hope that you enjoy this course. I personally love research, and I love conducting research in psychology. I've been conducting research in psychology for over 20 years, and for me it's really about investigation and asking questions about topics that I really care about, that I find interesting, and engaging in a systematic process for investigating those questions and trying to determine some answers. So this is just a short introductory video so that you can kind of put a face to the name. I'll give you a little bit about my background so that you know the kind of research that I conduct, and then I'll provide a brief overview of the course. This is going to be a very fast-paced course, and it's online, so there will be some heavy workload, and the most important thing is that you feel like you can reach out to me at any point if you have any questions starting now about anything, even about how to navigate BB Learn, how to access any of the course material. You can always reach out to me. So I'm originally from Canada. I started I completed my undergraduate degree and a master's degree in Canada, and I came to the United States to pursue my PhD at Northwestern University. And so Northwestern University is just north of Chicago, Illinois. So during most of my degree program, I was actually living and working on the Menominee Reservation in northeast Wisconsin. And so my research, I'm a cognitive psychologist, and my research is focused on culture and cognition. And so I was collaborating with the Menominee Nation to investigate cultural differences in worldviews about the natural world and about how humans relate to the natural world. And we were actually able to use some of the results from that research to build a culturally based science education program for Menominee kids. Which was really important to me at the time, because what was motivating me to do that work in the first place was my passion and desire for increasing diversity in the sciences, including the psychological sciences. So as an undergraduate, I became quickly aware of the lack of diversity in psychology. Most of the research is conducted on what are called weird populations, and I, for the most part, fall into that category, so it's not derogatory. It's a term that we use in psychology. WEIRD is an acronym that stands for Western, Educated, Industrialized, Rich, and Democratic. So I'm probably most of those things, except for definitely not rich. But the vast majority of undergraduates in higher education, especially in previous decades, represented weird samples or populations, and so most of the psychology research was based on that very specific population, and yet sweeping generalizations about how the mind works and why we behave the way that we do was based on that very narrow population. It's fine to learn about that population. It's less helpful to make generalizations from that population to everybody on the planet. And so that's why I started doing that kind of work. I had my first faculty position at San Diego State University in Southern California. So I did similar kind of work with the Kumeyaay tribe in Southern California. And then for 5 years, I worked as a faculty at Diné College, the tribal college on the Navajo Nation. And while I was there, I helped to spearhead the development of a culturally based psychology BA program for Navajo students. Which was pretty exciting. It included courses like Introduction to Navajo Psychology and Navajo Holistic Well-Being, in addition to a lot of the courses that you see in most BA programs like Abnormal Psychology, Developmental Psychology. And now I'm here at NAU, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited to be teaching this course. I am actually excited to be teaching this online course. It'll be intense for all of us, but I think it'll be fun. And if you can kind of rise to the challenge we are in this together, and I will be with you every step of the way. One of the reasons I wanted to share my background with you and talk to you a little bit about the kind of research that I have been doing throughout my career is because I wanted you to get a sense of doing research for a purpose. So the reason that I was conducting that type of research is because personally I really care about culture, cultural differences. I find cultural differences to be really fascinating, the way in which language and culture influences how we think and behave. But also I'm passionate about increasing diversity in the psychological sciences. Not only will it increase access to higher education for all communities, but there's research showing that diversity actually improves the quality and the creativity of the kinds of solutions that we develop for problems that we face. And of course, in psychology, as a very problem-focused field, we're really interested in trying to address some of those problems and hopefully find solutions. So in this course, in addition to learning the nuts and bolts of research, and you'll learn a lot about some of the basic concepts and skills that can be applied to conducting research, we are also really interested in helping you to develop a research identity. And what that means is your awareness of how you feel about research and why research might be important to you. And you might love research and you might decide that that's the career for you. You might take this course and decide that you don't love conducting research, and that's fine. So if you don't fall in love with this course, that's okay. The important thing is that you're aware, that you use this course to develop an understanding of whether you like to conduct research, whether you think you might be interested in pursuing that a little bit further. And at the end of this course, you might not know yet whether you love research, and there are lots of opportunities to continue practicing and getting experience so that you can make those kinds of decisions. But even if you don't choose a career in research, it's really important to understand how research relates to your overall career goals. We live in an era of data-driven decision making, and you will need to be using research in most careers that you choose, especially within the field of psychology. You'll need to be able to understand research so that you can critically evaluate evidence for particular kinds of practices, in particular, for example, related to counseling. Should you be applying this new technique? What's the evidence suggest about the effectiveness, particularly across diverse populations? In addition, there's some really excellent research. There's some research that's not so great. And so you need to be able to develop the critical thinking skills needed to differentiate between high quality versus low quality research, or research is more credible versus less credible, especially given news that we even see examples in which some folks are conducting themselves unethically and falsifying or fabricating data. So what are some of the red flags or some of the cues that we might be able to identify for when research might be more or less credible? And finally, I think it's really important for you to develop a sense of the kind of research that you find interesting or exciting. If you choose a research career, that will help you to figure out the kinds of research questions you want to ask, the kind of methodology you want to use. Like I said, it really is it's a way of asking questions about issues that we care about. So fundamentally, it can be really exciting if it's connected to your interests. But even if you don't choose a research career, learning about the kind of research that you find interesting could help to inform the particular career path you might want to take, or the type of field that you might want to get into, just strictly based on the content and what you like to think about. So I hope that you enjoy this course. Like I said, please feel free to reach out to me. I respond most quickly to email. But please feel free to call me, call my office phone. All of that information is on BB Learn. It's also on the syllabus. If you call my office phone and I don't answer, please leave a voicemail message with your name and your phone number. With the miracle of modern technology, the voicemail is automatically transcribed and sent to my email. And I will be doing my best to respond to all emails within 24 hours. So if you don't receive a response from me within 24 hours, you should be concerned about me. Maybe there's an emergency, because otherwise I'll be responding to all of your emails within 24 hours. If I don't, please feel free to harass me. I'm here to support you. That's my job, and I don't mind being harassed if I'm not responding to your email. So definitely feel comfortable reaching out to me.